All right. So the next company to present is Next Caller, and presenting are Ian Roncoroni and Johnny Martieri, and that's it. Just two of them.
Hello and welcome. My name's Ian Roncoroni. This is Johnny Martieri, and we're the founders of Next Caller. I'm going to put it right out there. Customer service is terrible. It sucks to wait on hold. It sucks to spell out your name and address. And it really sucks when you get disconnected and have to do it all over again. It's particularly painful for a guy like me with a last name like Roncoroni. It's got so many R's and O's and N's that if I'm interrupted in the middle, sometimes I misspell my own name.
And that's why we created Next Caller, the world's fastest, easiest way to exchange information over the phone. Now, the phone's a great tool for conversation, but it's a horrendous tool to exchange bits of information. To make your calls to customer service easier, we send your profile to the answering agent at the time of your call via our API. This way, you never have to spell out your name, your email, or your address over the phone ever again. Because this efficient exchange of information saves businesses so much money, they reward you by letting you skip the hold line. So we always make sure that you're the next caller.
Let's show you how great Next Caller is. I'm new to town. I'd like to sign up for cable service, so I want to speak to a human being. I find the Acme Cable Company customer service page, and right under the phone number, I see a skip the hold line button hosted by Next Caller. That sounds interesting. I hate waiting on hold, so I click it. I'm prompted via Next Caller's patent-pending third-party lead generation widget to enter my information to speak to a human immediately. That's great. I hate spelling everything over the phone as much as I hate waiting on hold, so I fill out a profile. Since I'm calling about new service, I select the sales department from the drop-down menu, and I submit my information. I'm prompted to call as usual, and Next Caller's patent-pending priority routing strategy ensures I'm the next caller.
Hello, Ian. You are the next caller.
You are now being connected to a sales representative.
Character offline, online. Call again. As you can see, the information is sent from the widget is sent directly to the agent's desktop. This way, the agent can get right down to business. With Next Caller, agents spend less time asking questions and more time answering them. Companies using Zendesk, Five9, and Salesforce to manage their call centers can easily integrate the Next Caller application and be live and running within minutes. Oh, and it doesn't stop there. We also allow callers to save their bill information to their Next Caller profile. So this way, when you need to conduct commerce over the phone, like you're making a transaction or you're paying a bill, instead of getting your credit card out of your wallet and reading it to a complete stranger over the phone, you simply provide your 4-digit billing PIN. This releases your billing information from Next Caller's secure server directly to the third party's payment gateway. And not only is this process clearly much more efficient, it also reduces the probability of human error.
Now, you may be thinking to yourself, yeah, this is nice, but this isn't the 90s anymore. I buy everything online, I don't call customer service, and neither does anyone else. Well, I'm about to blow your mind. Last year in the United States, customers made 48 billion calls to customer service. That's billion with a B. Of those, 61%, or 29 billion, required a human being to manually identify a caller. At 52 cents per call, for anyone doing the math at home, that's over $14 billion wasted by businesses every year just to ask you how to spell your name. And the problem's getting worse, too. Over the last 3 years, the average cost of a customer service call has increased from $5.90 to $7.76. The amount of calls that require an agent to manually identify a caller has increased to 97%. We sell our profiles for 10 cents. That represents savings of over 90%.
And here's the best part. We don't even need anyone to sign up to make Nextcaller work. We've partnered with all the major telcos to provide caller information. As of today, we can already identify 180 million US phone numbers.
So what does that mean exactly? 180 million, that's a big number. Well, it means that we've already disrupted the market. It means that our first day out of beta, today, we can already identify over half of you. I invite everyone to please get out your phones and call this number on the screen. Don't be shy. Johnny's going to participate too. We want everybody to see what the Nextcaller experience is like.
Hello, Gianni. Welcome to the future of customer service.
That's right. Half of you were just identified by your names, and you didn't say a word. No waiting on hold, no more spelling out your information to representatives, just customer service without all the hassle. Ladies and gentlemen, the days of B as in boy and D as in dog are officially over. Thank you very much.
All right. Judges, anyone want to?
So I love the initial pitch. I have a hard-to-spell name. Sometimes I just go by Mike. It's a lot easier. But what's defensible about this? Like, how can your form be patent pending? It's just a widget that sends information over.
Yes, it's a unique inbound lead sales strategy. So it's basically collecting the caller's information before the call happens. We have a patent pending for it. Obviously, if that patent's going to get approved or not, it's going to take 4 to 5 years to truly answer that question. But we gave it a shot, of course. So with the Nextcaller API, once people fill in that widget, every person that funnels to that widget on the business's homepage literally saves them $1. So they're more than happy to put them in the priority call queue.
And these are all customers who are calling your business to conduct business. They want to give you money for products and services, so why not treat those customers with, white glove service?
Yeah, I understand. I mean, when I buy cable service, they ask you for your name. So the most interesting part of your presentation was that you already have a bunch of our names. How do you do that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
You said you have 150 million names.
Yes,
or something?
180.
180.
So we
how does that
basically,
work?
so we partner up with all the big telcos, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint. Your telephone company has your name and your address. Now, caller ID doesn't work through wireless networks, so that's why if you have a caller ID unit at home and somebody calls from a cell phone, it says wireless caller. So we take all that information that's syndicated to us, and we just transmit it through our API. So basically, when a call comes into a business, the first thing they do is they try to see if that number belongs to anybody in their database. 63% of the times, the businesses have no idea who's calling them. And that's when they ask Nextcaller. And now with Nextcaller, that business basically has an extension of 180 million more numbers in their database.
Okay, but how do you convince Verizon to give you these names?
They sell the data. It's a common practice for the telcos to sell information. It's really phone book data.
Okay. How much does that cost?
It's expensive, but at the same
Doesn't
time,
seem like you've raised enough money to actually buy it.
well, since part of Nextcaller is actually data cleaning, so we have a special agreement with the carriers and our other data providers that we not only take information from their servers, we actually push information back.
And we also have a pay per lookup basis. So unlike other businesses like whitepages.com that actually purchase large chunks of data up front and pay a lot of money for it, we have an arrangement where we only pay what we use. So if we request a number, we can't find it, we don't pay for it. We don't charge the customer. If we get information, we pay for it, we charge the customer.
So if I give my number to Comcast, I'm in a global database a couple of weeks later? Is that?
Not to Comcast. It has to be Verizon, AT&T, like your actual carrier.
Okay. But you said that you share data back to the carriers.
Yes.
Okay. I think people would have a problem with that maybe. Anyway, thanks.
So what's the plan for acquiring customers? Will you go after the big guys first or the long tail small businesses?
So we've actually already acquired 22 customers, small businesses. Part of the reason we went after the small customers first is because the big marquee brands, while they are important for us to have, brand recognition helps when you're trying to attract membership. The sales cycle is really long. 6 to 12 months, I think, could even be a conservative estimate. People really want what we have, and we wanted to be able to demonstrate. We realize the value of having traction. We realize the value of having businesses say, hey, this isn't just a good idea. This is actually an idea we want to pay for.
So I have two questions. The first is I'm curious how you guys came up with this idea and how you got started on it. The second is I definitely believe it's a pain point. Like if I call State Farm Insurance or ADT Security and I give them all my account number and data and they transfer me, I know, oh God, I'm gonna have to go through this all again, and I do. Can you expand it all beyond just name
Yes.
and phone
Yeah,
number?
so sure. So the idea actually came about a year ago. I was flying out to California, my plane was delayed. I tried to get on the phone with my rental car so I could keep my reservation. Waited about 15 minutes, got disconnected, had to do it all over again. At the end of the day, I couldn't change my reservation because I boarded the plane. So I thought there has to be a better way to do this. What if we could create like an easy pass or a fast track system where you can just pay $10 and skip the hour-long wait? We discussed the idea and realized that customers really don't want to pay for anything. So maybe we can make it free. And we did some research into the industry and we found out how expensive customer identification really is. And then we had the business trade priority customer service for valuable information and give our membership the leverage to actually get something out of it. They have to give the information to their representative anyway. Why not incentivize them?
And to answer the second part of the question, and one of the pain points you touched upon is you identify yourself to an agent or you put in your account number, then you get transferred and they have no clue who you are. Now, the reason why this happens is not because the businesses don't know any better, it's because you have multiple call centers. So you called into Colorado, you got now transferred to Albuquerque, one center was using Asterisk, one center was using Avaya, and it's just, they can't talk to each other. So the only way to really solve that is you actually have to have two operators on the line talk to each other and exchange your information. With Nextcaller, with our API, the strategy is every time you have an inbound call from each of your call centers, just do a data lookup. Our API broadcasts in 3 primary languages with a few dialects for certain platforms like Salesforce and Five9. So we make it extremely easy for calls not to be lost.
So let's suppose this works and you start scaling up and it's somewhat defensible, which is still a bit of a question in my mind. What do you extend into after this?
Well, right now we have a team of about 5 engineers, it's 2 of us. Right now it's all sales. This is completely scaled in Amazon. We can right now, for each company, they could do 1,000 lookups per second, and we can fulfill that request. So it's a really easy business to scale because it's not really too complicated. We're just sending text files. It's caller ID on steroids, as some people called it. And so right now it's really just, we're a first mover in the market. There's no other product like it. It's a very innovative idea. So far we had success with it. Now it's just about getting as much traction as possible and get into those accounts as quickly as possible. So it's all sales.
Yeah, so my question is what do you extend into once you get the initial product in?
We think the
We're
payment
almost out of
feature,
time, so quickly.
No.
the payment feature will be really popular, and then at that point we'll just let our membership decide what they want.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you guys very much. That was Next Caller.
Thank you.
Thank you.